if we feel inside fear around money, fear around looking at a bank account number, or fear that we don't have enough, if we feel uneasy, if the thought process comes, other people have it easier, you don't understand my business and how hard it is, or my location of the business and how challenging that is, right? If you feel stressed at all, it's not fair that that person has money, right? Consciously, you would never say anything like this, but if you have a feeling or some idea that comes to mind that says, how can that person do that? He's not working as hard as me. See the false premise? Hard work has no bearing on what you're going to earn. So if you still believe that, we got to change that internally. Never having enough feeling, lack. I work so hard and hate this, like I was saying. Hard to get, hard to keep. Those are beliefs. It's a feeling. It's a habitual feeling. Always stems from childhood. So if you grew up from some sort of poverty or lack, we don't have to blame that, but we want to understand a lot of those thought patterns will come from that. Okay, we just have to realize it, be awakened. Now that's the feeling of lack of money, and the presence of money is what we want. Ease, relief. It's simple to earn. It's easy to earn. It's easy to keep. Abundance, fun to earn. Gratitude. Now those are empowering statements, statements of mind, right? Let's think about what this is here. Okay. I also talked to somebody at the seminar and they said, when I get money, I'm going to start to make some more decisions and feel ease. I'm like, hold on. I just want to be really transparent with you. Are you listening to what Bob's saying and believe anything that he's saying? Because if you don't, then you want to be saying, or if you don't really believe in any of this stuff, then none of it's going to work for you. And you don't really have to be in the seminar, in the program, whatever it is, right? But if you believe what Bob's saying, we can't even talk like the way, we're talking about money like this, right? Most people will say, once I have money, then I'll finally feel free. Once I have the income, I'll finally be able to do what I want. Oh, I hope you're grabbing this. Once I have the money, then I'll be able to build the business. Once I have the money, I will feel ease. It's always a false premise because we're still living on this lackful frequency and saying, once I get up here on a frequency, then things are going to change. But we have to get here before things change. We have to shift. We want to say, I want to find all the reasons to feel ease and free now because I'm going to start to fuse with that frequency on abundance and on money. And when I fuse with that frequency, bang, that's when it's going to happen. That's when I'm going to get the income, when I be before having. Here's the premise up here. And this is by far one of the things that holds most people back when it comes to money. They're looking to have first. And we go through this formula a lot. Then they're going to do everything that they want. Then they're going to be free. They want the money first. Then they'll have what they want. Then they'll start doing what they love, and then they'll start being more happy, and they'll be more at ease, and then they'll be more free. That's why the world, it doesn't work, because the being is the frequency. We can't have what we're not in harmony with frequency-wise. So we just reverse it. We be first, and we do what we love, and then have. Is it easy to do it first? No, it's not always easy. But it becomes easier because it's just a thought pattern. Listen, I did this in my own life, and I do it every day. Now, I don't mean that from an ego place, but I'm saying I do this, okay? Within 13 months of me starting a business, no marketing experience, no sales experience, no real experience with anything online or being an entrepreneur, because I was in jobs all pretty much previous to it, I turned the annual income into a monthly income. I did exactly what Bob puts on those slides. It wasn't until things changed that dramatically until I realized I had to be free inside before outside changed income-wise. I had to change the way I felt around money vibrationally, and then things started to change so fast. If you don't believe this yet, like Bob says, believe in my belief in this information. And be open to saying, all right, what I'm doing right now, I shouldn't say, all right, but you don't understand my situation, because obviously what I'm doing right now is not, it's not creating me the income I want. So I better do something different. I have to work with a new structure and switch over, and you say, well, let me just be open to this. Maybe I haven't grabbed it just yet. Maybe I keep putting all my focus into this situation. Oh, you don't understand my circumstance. You don't understand what's happening in my family and the business and the location. And what if we could just lift that up and we could put our focus instead saying, maybe I don't get this yet, but it's okay. I think I'm grabbing it a little bit deeper tonight. I think I'm beginning to understand that some of the scenarios that have been percolating and uplifting in my life, I think I've been focused on that instead of being instead. And maybe it hasn't been easy for me, but I know I'm getting better at it. I know I can get better. I know if anybody else in the world has been able to change their thought patterns, I can do it too. And in fact, you only have to do it really one time in your life. That's the best part about it. It works by law. Once you start to be in abundance, you never really leave. And when you start earning 10, 20, 30, you have your first kind of big months there, you never really go back because you have the awareness of how you've done it. You've already been at that concept. So really, you only have to do this challenge, this kind of 0 to 10 or 0 to 20 or 10 to 50 one time, because then you're going to be at that level. Even if everything fails, you can restart a business, be there within 6 months because you've already lived it, right? So if you tell yourself that, okay, I know it's a challenge, but really it's just a game. And once I make it through, I have the awareness of really, I'm now into the habits, the momentum of doing something great. What a good word, momentum. It will start to build for you. Just be open to the idea that says, well, maybe I can do this better. I surely can do it better. I can be better and then do more